Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. So this is a story that really surprised me because I didn't even know this was a thing. But as you guys know, there's a big story right now, especially now that we're in the Western Conference Finals, surrounding the Thunder and SGA and all of these guys. And that is the flopping. And SGA is becoming the poster child for flopping. He's not the only one, by the way. I think if you're looking at the two biggest foul baiting floppers, that's Luka Doncic and SGA. Those two guys are there. Luka's there as well, right? Luka Doncic is there for sure, right? And then Reeves ain't too far behind, but they're all within that group of floppers. But SGA has he's been getting roasted throughout these Western Conference Finals because every single game. After the game, you see highlight clips of just one flop after the other. Not just him, even his entire team. And it's now created this big conversation around him. And look, I would say that this flopping thing has the potential to become a part of his legacy. I mean that. Because a lot of people are kind of, not that they're saying that he's not great, but they're kind of using that as an asterisk to say he's great, but yeah, he only scores this much because he like that's what this is becoming. So anyway, this afternoon, Mitch sent me over a video here from Tyrese Halliburton when he did a sit-down interview on the Pat McAfee show, and he said something that absolutely startled me. Well, before we even get into what he said, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, guys, the regular season is wrapped up and the NBA playoffs are finally here, and there's no better way to cash in on all of the high-flying hoop action than Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. Every bucket, every dime, every win means when you're making lineups on Prize Pick. And here's something you didn't want to sleep on. Prize Picks has the Do It Live 2026 NBA Finals sweepstakes going on right now. Make a $5 lineup with at least one live NBA player pick during the playoffs, and you could win a trip for two to the NBA Finals. That alone is reason enough to check out Prize Picks right now. I've been making lineups on the Celtics and Lakers players, and it makes watching the playoffs so much more fun. It's simple. Just pick more or less on player projections across basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. You can even pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup with stacks. And if your picks get off to a hot start, cash out early with easy payouts before the game even ends. Prize Picks is now available in all 50 states. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, so what we want to do is we want to play what Tyrese Halliburton had to say, because he's essentially saying here that players are taught how to flop before they even get to the NBA. Take a listen to this here.
Are coaches teaching the embellishment or the flopping, or however you want to talk about it, based on what Commissioner Silver said, and trying to fool the refs? How do you feel about it? And are coaches teaching it these days?
Yeah, for sure. It's being taught. I don't think it's as much head coach teaching as much as it is like player development. Even before you get to the NBA, it's just something that you kind of work on by nature. I think the best scorers are the best, usually the guys who get to the free throw line the most. So it's definitely something they work on. Even in pickup, they're working on how they can draw fouls, things like that. Like, I think that's a part of the game. I think it's interesting here.
Tyrese,
Wait.
This is the future of the sport.
Can I say something?
Please.
I think he made a great point about embellishing calls versus, fooling a referee, because I am under the impression, obviously you guys are NFL guys, but I think we have the best officials in sports. Like, I believe that, especially when you go play like in the Olympics or in FIBA or something, you're like, damn, like every time I go do that, I get back, I'm like, I go to the refs like, hey, I missed you guys. You guys are awesome. So I think like they're really good at what they do. The refs are. So I think more times than not, there's embellishing going on more so than just like falling over out of nowhere. But does it happen? Of course it happens. And it's talked about, no question.
So you heard what Tyrese had to say. Then we have another image here that we want to show from Mike Breen. He says on SGA, says, does SGA sell calls sometimes? Absolutely. But so do 287 other players in the NBA. When they weren't a championship contender, nobody complained. They only complain now because they are winning. So that's what Mike Breen had to say. Look, what are my thoughts about this? Mike Breen can say whatever he wants to say. Tyrese Halliburton can say whatever he wants to say. Ultimately, fans are gonna come to their conclusion about a particular player. And you're not gonna Houdini fans into believing. No, like if people feel a certain way about you, they're going to feel that way about you. Right? The fans are watching the game, and I feel like the media is trying to say, oh, no, it's not a big deal. Tyrese Halliburton's like, yeah, it's part of the game. Well, it is probably part of the game. And I don't want to hear people complaining about this because there's so many people calling this the greatest era ever. So if this is truly the greatest era of basketball, take this and enjoy it and shut up. That's my take on it. If this is truly the greatest era of the sport, then enjoy it and shut the hell up. I don't want to hear people complaining about it if you're talking about NBA players are so skilled today. If we're going to include flopping as a skill, and it looks like it is because you get rewarded for it, then I don't want to hear anything about the complaining. Because when other people like us talk about it, oh man, all they doing over there just hating these old heads. I don't even understand, bro. Anybody above the age of 20, 25 is an old head. I don't get it, bro. What y'all think? We trying to run around here in diapers like you, dog? Like, come on, what are we talking about? Since when did it being a man become like some kind of slight on you? Damn, man, you 30? You 35? You 45? Damn, you an old head. I'm confused. You think I want to go back to high school? I'm lost. Like, you think I want to go back to junior high? I'm confused. Like, I don't understand how that's a flex. Ain't nobody trying to go back to high school over here, bro. Ain't nobody trying to be sitting in them college classes taking class. Ain't nobody trying to do all of that. But now it's like, oh, you an old head. You're a man now. Look at it. Like, I'm confused. I don't know what that be about. And then the weirdest thing is you got dudes in their late 30s, 40s calling people old heads. Like, what are we doing? What are we, like, we're living in an upside down reality. You're 40 years old calling people old head. I'm lost. I don't know what to say. But in terms of the people that want to complain about this, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's a part of the game, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. People want to say, I mean, look, you know, and everybody does it. Everybody does it. Some people do it more than others. LeBron does it too. A whole bunch of other host of players do it too. And the worst part is like if you don't flop, you don't even get calls. You know how many games I watched of Kawhi Leonard where he gets actually fouled and they don't call it until he has to scream? Because the refs are like, nah, you didn't flop enough for me, man. No, you got to even act to get a call now. You have to be so theatrical. Right? And then I think I heard just this morning that Adam Silver, they asked him about the flopping, and he was like, I don't see anything wrong with it. What do you expect him to say? That our product is not great? Of course he's not going to say that. Of course he's going to say it's a fantastic product and I love it. And, you know, it couldn't even be better. What do you expect Adam to say? Of course he's going to say he loves it. And in terms of the flopping and all of this, look, man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. This is all I want to say is that if this is the road that we're going to go down, people will hold it against you. It will be a part of your legacy. That's all I'm saying. Take the good with the bad. And I'm going to leave it there. These are my thoughts. We catch you guys on the next show and I'm out. Peace.